Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our social media panel with Mario and Ryan. Real quick, I want to give a couple of little tidbits of kind of details on how this is going to work. So you'll be able to ask your questions to them and hear all their amazing stories. And so basically, when it comes to that time, I'll just ask you, you can raise your hand and I'll come run to you and give you the mic and you'll be able to be able to answer the questions. Also, after this, what's going to happen is they'll head back over to the vendor hall. So if you have not met Mario yet and you want to meet him, check out his awesome merch. I got some myself. It's super cool. Go check it out in the vendor hall after this. So that's where we'll be going after this. So I think...
Should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, so definitely let's get started. Let people know who you are and what's up.
You want to go first?
Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Aceto. You can absolutely feel free to ignore me on this panel and ask all your questions to Mario. Honestly, it would not bother me at all because maybe I have my own questions for you. I'm really excited to be here again. It was amazing seeing all of this come together a couple years ago and now to see it grow into something even bigger and better. And just the love you guys have for anything around Pentatonics, which includes so nicely Mario and myself. It's a joy to be around. So thank you so much for having us. And I work with him. I have the best job in the world, so, or maybe I guess second best job. But yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Second best job.
Well, I was thinking manager for Pentatonics.
Got it.
First, maybe. I said maybe.
Yes, no, seriously, if I could manage Pentatonics too, I would give up my own solo career and just manage them too. Hi, my name is Mario Jose. I could talk about this panel, but while we're already scatting, we are not 3 seconds into this panel, and I'm already. But I could talk about those 5 people and the incredible world that they've created for this entire panel. And I just have to, so could all of us, right? But it is so cool. When people ask me where I'm going this weekend, I'm like, I'm going to PentaCon. They're like, but you're not in Pentatonics. I know. Trust me, I know. You're salt in the wound. But I am so thankful and so proud and so honored to be a part of this community. And I would not be a part of this community without those 5 incredible people and without the support of all of you. So thank you. And I get her claps every time because it is immediately a family feeling and warmth and love and that I've never seen before. So this is very cool. So thank you to the committee for having us. And it's you've created truly something so special. So, no more crying, ew. Seriously, we wanted to talk about this. I think a huge reason why this became what it is because of social media. I mean, it was born from connecting to people across the globe, and this is something that you should just definitely cherish and soak in while you're here, because there are people from literally across the world to be here and all over the country and saved up years of money to be here. It's not a little thing. So thank you guys for being here, and thank you for being a part of it, and thank you for letting us be a guest. This is really cool. So in terms of that, ask us anything. I mean, you can ask us mostly about social media because it's a social media panel, but thank you. That's it.
All right, we got a question right here.
How did you meet Scott?
Great question. So Scott is the first person I met in Pentatonics. Well, yes, and he is. I met Scott because I was on season 2 of the Sing Off in Pitch Slapped.
Pitch Slap.
Yes. Who Matt Sallee is an alumni of, obviously. We weren't in the group together. I graduated, then he got in, and then it got really good. So, yeah, bitter much? Just kidding. Not at all. It's truly, I'm like honored to say that I was a part of that as well. But that's how I was really brought into the a cappella community. And Ben Bram, who I'm sure most of you true Pentaholics know who he is, started this thing that you guys have probably seen videos of called the Spalding Sessions. And that was literally in his old apartment on Spalding Street. And we met quickly at the finale of season 3. And it was like, there was so many people, and I was like, hi Scott, we've been like YouTube friends, but like, and it was like, we didn't like click that we really met until the Spalding Sessions, really. And that was like late 2011, early 2012. And it was a concert, it was a house concert, and Pentatonics sang. It's the video of them singing Moves Like Jagger in like a living room. Yeah. And then I sang New York State of Mind, and then afterwards Scott and Mitch came up to me and they were like, why didn't you tell us that you sang? And I was like, oh wait, well, I mean, I said I was on the sing off, but like, and they're like, no, but you didn't tell us that you like sang. And I was like, well, what do you want me to walk up to you and be like, hi, I'm Mario, and I sang. Like, I'm not gonna say that. Like, I sing, yes, but I'm not gonna be like, hi, I sang. But from then on, I'll never forget. Like, Scott and I totally hit it off and became instant besties, and it has truly been, like, I mean, his support and love has been, it's bled into the group, and then all of the things that they've done for me is just, I will forever be thankful. Thank you. World peace.
Hi.
Hello.
You remember me from when I started out with I apologize in advance?
Yes. And then I wept like a little child. Yes, I do, of course.
Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm 473 years old, so I do, going back just to social media. If I'm going to go to one more social medium and try to figure it out beyond my basic Facebook and Twitter, what should I go to and why? I didn't ask you guys.
I actually absolutely agree with what people are saying. The answer is Instagram. Why? I think it's been able to keep simple enough, and it's a visual medium, which is, and you can have music and things on it, but I think it's the easiest. It's kept very simple in terms of how it functions, and I think it's also, it is one of the biggest, and we utilize it a lot, so I'd love for you to follow us. At Animal Management, hey, it's Mario Jose. It's definitely, and it's also, just so you know, or many of you may already know this, is that Facebook owns Instagram, so there's a connection in there anyway, but definitely Instagram. Jump on board.
Ditto.
World peace.
April 25th. It's not too hot, not too cold. All you need is a light jacket. Light jacket? Is that what? Okay. Thank you. One of my favorite songs.
So jumping off of that then, does Snapchat Steve have an Instagram persona that might be making an appearance?
Instagram Ivan, I don't know, no. I think, you know, it's so funny. It's because I remember when Instagram made stories, and I made a whole rant about it with Snapchat Steve. Okay, so if people don't know, hey y'all, it's Snapchat Steve. Those shirts. Oh, that's so nice. Little did I know that me being, I mean, that is just me with a camera off in LA traffic, or even with people in the car. I don't give a shucks about it. Like, I am just a freak show. And so I will full on talk like this, and I'm like, well, if you didn't cut me off, then maybe you wouldn't be stuck in the same line as me. You know, kind of thing. So, and I am enthralled with accents in any shape or form. It's really like the ones that like are like Southern, Boston, and British are the ones that are like my favorite. And I mean, German is a very, very nice one as well. I don't know if there are people from Germany that are like, that's not a good accent. It's not at all. It's not. But we support and love the people that are our friends. But anyways, I think so. I think Snapchat Steve is just gonna move over to Instagram, but like still be called Snapchat Steve as like yeah, exactly. Because, you know, I don't think anyone at Instagram headquarters is watching my story and be like, sir, you can't say anything about being Snapchat. Whatever, I'm Snapchat Steve, story started there. That's what I would say. But anyway, I have a lot of time on my hands apparently. See, anyone in here an only child? Okay, so you get that we have a lot of time by ourselves. And like, not that I'm saying I didn't have any friends growing up, like I did, but when I didn't, I mean, it was like just me and mom and my dad, and I'd be in my room and I'd be like, well, I would create friends within myself, so I never feel alone. Just passing that on. Anyway, it's such a freak show. That is so not what you asked, Sarah, but that's what you're getting. Okay. Next question.
Hi.
Hey.
All right. So, forgot my question already. All right, I got it. So how do you keep up with everybody on social media? I mean, I know that your phone is probably like blowing up even as we're speaking right now. I low-key wish I was as popular as you.
That is a great question. I think as much, you know what, I'm going to not give you guys any kind of BS answers. I'm going to be 100% honest with you that I think as much as we love social media, I need a break sometimes. And so it's really good, and I think that's what makes my relationships in real life, like my friends, so much stronger, is because I can go out to dinner and kind of disconnect as much as I can. Because at the end of the day, like when we're here and you're meeting all these people from all over the world, if you're like this, to me that's like you want to be somewhere else. And so to me it's important to try to disconnect as much as you can. And so what I do is I have all notifications off. So if I miss things, I'm so sorry, you guys. But I turn it off because I'm going to go check it anyways. Like if you have Instagram, if you have Twitter, if you have Facebook, you'd be damned, like you would be lying to say that you don't check that at least probably once an hour. You know, and then like you think that it's going to be a couple minutes, then it turns into 15. You know what I mean? And so what I try to do is I try to like keep up, and I'll go through my mentions and stuff like that. I'm very bad at DMs, and I'm sure people could like probably attest to that. Sorry, but I try to find the best balance of being in life and being present and being with the people that I'm with, and at the same time trying to see as much as I can. So that's personally what I do, but I'll try to go, at the end of the night, I go back through the day and I try to like go through things that I missed. Instagram's now like lumping everything together, so now I'm missing even more things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like Instagram, slow down. But it's like they're like this amount of people and 10 other people like liked it, so you can't really see who liked it or whatever. But I don't know, you have to find your balance, and I think with me, I just try to see everybody. I swear on everything that I love, I've never muted anybody, because like if you're gonna I know, right? Like Mario, why wouldn't you mute somebody? If I saw something that someone posted that I disliked, I would unfollow them, because I'm like, I don't like the energy that you're putting out into the world. I think it's negative, I think it's whatever, and I'll remove you from my life. That sounds kind of, it sounds like, whoa! But at the same time, life is too short, and there's too many horrible things going on in this world that if you don't need someone else putting out negative energy towards someone else or a group or whatever. I think you should just world peace. But I truly do mean that, and so I try to keep up as much as I can, and it's like there will be things that have been missed, and that's inevitable with algorithms that these programs have now and things like that. But at the end of the day, I try to remember that we're human, and it's just like ultimately you're like looking for a connection and like that kind of thing, and sometimes it's missed, sometimes it's not, but I try to just do my best.
I'm gonna add something real quick. One thing I would say is that just for you, if you're trying to post it for Mario and get in touch with him, I also try to keep an eye on things. So just so you know,
He's
like
really good at
we're trying to keep an eye on everything. We as much as possible, we want to be involved with you guys.
Right.
Secondly, I think this is related to your question. I just wanted to explain why I think Mario is good at social media. Is that, and it's something that I've talked to other artists about, is that the genuine person that you feel like you're seeing on social media and that you meet in real life, it's all the same. And so he's genuinely talking to you and taking the time to look at if it's posts or whatever and respond to that. And if it's other artists, he's genuinely listening to their music or looking at their, and so it's a reflection of him as a person, but I hope you all can feel that through what he does on social media, because it's a skill, and it's also just such a wonderful thing that you do, that you are kind of using social media the way it was meant to.
Yeah. Further to that, as a solo artist, how do you separate the professional Mario Jose and those accounts and your brand versus just Mario? Like, is that hard to, I shouldn't post that because, or...
100%. I think it's kind of, are anyone in here pursuing music as a career? And they want to. Good for you. Props to you. Enjoy the journey, because that's exactly what it is. I think when you are becoming, they are so blurred, and they are so, it's hard for me to look at them separately, to be quite honest. And it's just like, I think supporting my fellow artists is really important. I really stand by that. And so like when friends of mine are putting out singles or videos or things like that, I'll post it, that because I believe in it, and to help spread the word as much as I can. And at the end of the day, I have to remember that I'm like a person as well, I mean, I never forget that, but at the same time, it's like, I'm Wally. But like, if I want to post a picture of me and my mom, my dad, like at the movies, I'm totally gonna do that. Like, my dad totally killed his first boomerang. And I was like, it's like this kind of stop motion thing. He's like, okay, cool. And he did this like weird neck thing. And I was like, Dad, you're such a great boomeranger. And my mom's like, I'm just waving. I don't know what else to do. She doesn't sound like that at all, but that's how I mock her. But I don't know. It's just, I think when you're pursuing a career as a solo artist, you are putting your life kind of into the world. And I say this 100%. Someone asked me in an interview, like, what's your stage persona? Who's your Sasha Fierce? And I said, well, I have no Sasha Fierce inside of me. The same goofy guy that you get from here, walking around the halls and meeting you guys, is the same person that will stumble onto stage and be like, hello, I'm sorry, I just tripped. So I guess if that was my brand, is just I just try to be myself as much as I possibly can, and to let I think that, I guess that's not what you're asking my brand is, but like stay in your lane. I get ultimately as true and as honest as I can be in any medium, whether it be in real life or social media. That's what I try to post. And if I have to post a poster for a show, then that's what I'll be like, hey, like, this is what's coming up. If you can be there, great. If not, everyone has a life. You know what I mean? So I try to blend the two as much as I can. If that answers your question.
I got a couple, so here, there, and then back around.
Yes.
Oh Lord, a mic scares me.
Me too.
Clearly. Now if I don't forget in front of all these people. We're a mighty group and a lot of us have talked. Who do we contact or who do we influence to get you to open for Pentatonics already?
I don't know. But let's find them.
Then the question goes to Ryan, please.
I mean, I guess the honest truth is that in the best possible way, what's going on with Pentatonics right now is they're signed to a label, and there's label artists involved and things. So it will be tough, to be honest, at this point. But it's not out of nothing's out of the realm of possibility. It's absolutely something that I have discussed before. So I think just you all keep supporting Pentatonics, keep supporting Mario, and it's being heard is all I can say. Yeah. And hopefully, maybe some of you had seen there were a few shows that you did get the chance to open up or sing with them. So it has happened, which means the door is open. But I appreciate that.
Hey guys, mine is more social media.
Yeah.
On a business standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated with the behind the scenes and how you guys actually, when you go on tour, where you go, how you do it, and how many people are involved in that. I mean, you have to have a team. Mario, you have a team behind you. You have a team of supporters, not just your fans, but this lovely man here and the rest of them. Can you give us any details on what goes into that? And like even with the social media when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Sure. So to be 100% honest, right now, this is the team. Definitely looking to expand. I mean, and needing to expand, and we're getting to that point. But it's just about building that out, and But as far as how we've done tours in the past and how we approach it, there's definitely ways to kind of pull data and see where you all are, where people are actually buying music, where we did when Mario went out with Travis Atreo and the Philharmonic. We used a company that was able to have you put in a poll basically and say, this is where I would go see you, and this is how much I'd pay. So that was really helpful, and we kind of got this heat map basically of the whole world, and it showed where people were, where they were. It helped us analyze how much to charge and all those kind of things. So there's definitely, that's the wonderful thing about the world of data, is that you can pull it to help you make decisions. So yeah, so going forward, we definitely are going to be looking at those kind of things. Where can we go that makes the most sense for the most people to be able to get there, and price it in the right way. But yeah, as far as a team, it's us right now, but the next steps would be finding, there's professional bookers and there's a label and there's all those kind of things. But the joy of being independent for both of us, I'm an independent manager, it's my own business. He's an independent artist, is that whatever we want to try, we can try it. We don't have someone to run an idea by. So if we want to go do something, we just give it a try.
Okay. And to add on to that, the tours that I've been a part of, the Heart, Hope, Love tour with Travis and Philharmonic was a team effort between the three of our managers, and they used that app or whatever, the website, to plan the route. And then so many people are like, are you going to come to my city, and why are you doing that day, and why I had and I completely get it, because it's just like I said before, when it comes to social media, we all have lives, and like, I can't go, I'm going to miss my cousin's wedding that day, or ... The ones that I've been a part of, like the Leroy tour, was all handled by his management. It was planned, and then he asked us to join it. And then anything that I've done with Postmodern Jukebox is all completely planned by their agency. And so that's why, if I haven't come to your city, I'm sorry, but we haven't planned it. But and so it's just, and I think that even bleeds into what Felicia was asking, that it's so much bigger than the group's decision to who they get to bring on tour. And I'm sure they have the final say, or yes or no, but there's so many other moving parts that I don't know I don't know, what I mean? And that's such a genuinely, I wish. I mean, it's been a dream to tour with them, and touring with them in different ways. When I tour assisted them On My Way Home, it was like the best job I've ever had. And it was, it's so, there's so many different moving parts, but and like Brian said, this has been the dynamic duo since the beginning of 2016 when we started working together. And I am just so thankful for all of the incredible things we've been able to do. So thank you guys for being a part of that.
I'm just wondering, is there any opportunities musically that you found yourself capable of doing because of your social media presence?
Great question. Actually, I got into Postmodern Jukebox because of social media. I met a singer named Luke Edgman through Twitter or Instagram, or one of the two, and then we met in real life at a Pentatonics show, actually. And then we became friends. And then he called me and he was like, hey, can you do backgrounds for this video with Shoshana Bean, who is an incredible vocalist, if you don't, yes. And she did this cover of Justin Bieber's Sorry. And it was one of the viral videos that BMJ did. And we did backgrounds for that. And that's how I met Scott Bradley, the creator of Postmodern Jukebox. So I think, there's a lot of people that reach out via social media because they might not know how to get a hold of you otherwise. Like, I've gotten DMs from, the first time I heard about the Peppermint Club, which is a venue in LA that Superfruit has done stuff, and Vincent and all these other people. The first time I heard about it was someone DMing me about it. So there's definitely tons of different opportunities. And even session work is another kind of avenue of work that I do, where it's singing demos for songwriters, or being in a recording session where people might not necessarily hear what you're recording, but they need a voice to kind of emulate what they did. A lot of people have reached out to me via social media, for sure.
I'll just echo that and say again, I'm watching his accounts, and there are definitely opportunities that come in, or we'll get messaged, or I'll do a lot of outreach myself. So I'll see about some festival or performance, and I'll just reach out, and being able to, again, have such a quality, it sounds kind of weird or cheesy, but a quality social media presence for Mario, it's so easy then for me to be able to, of course we have a website and things, but it's nice that I can just be like, check out his Instagram, and it says it all. Like you get who he is, and you can hear him and all that kind of stuff. So I, on the opposite end, use it for outreach and can find opportunities because of it. I can see a festival or a performance opportunity and say, hey, how can we get Mario there?
I'm going to add on to that, just this is a general social media thing that I've found, because before I was working with Ryan, and I don't know if everyone knows the story of how I started working with Ryan, but a friend of mine got me an interview to be an intern at MTV back in 2013, and I interviewed to be like part of the celebrity and talent department, and I definitely follow pop culture and all the things that are happening, but they were sitting there and she was like, I think you'd be a much better fit for the music department, and that's where Ryan was the coordinator or one of the managers, and he had me come be his intern. I interned for him for about a year, and then we just stayed friends. So I was like an employee, and then we were friends, and then now we work together and are friends, co-worker friend hybrid. We're like a Prius of it's a marriagement. Yes, definitely. We are just like inseparable, which you need to be, especially in this kind of thing. But what I found when I worked in social media at MTV, and just as being like as an independent artist and as a human, I think what really is effective on social media is when you can read someone's post, whether it be a tweet, whether it be an Instagram caption, and you can hear them. You know what I mean? When you read Scott's posts, you hear his voice. Like, you know what I mean? And I think when you read my posts, you hear me like, you hear the crazy person that is me, and it's like I even type my text messages just as I do my captions. It's just like I use a lot of exclamation points and emojis, so just to get a point across for sure. So I think that's really kind of a very important thing. Like it's people can read a tone, and so the more you find your voice essentially via social media, I think the more effective things become.
Hello.
Hi!
So I wanted to know, this is for the both of you, when did you realize that you wanted the career that you have, and when did you have that moment that said, yes, I can actually pursue this career and I have what it takes?
Sure. So I've worked in music. Yeah, that's a great question. I worked in music since I finished school. I went to school for music business, and when I was at MTV, it was a great opportunity. And then when I left, and this was after Mario had been my intern, I honestly had no clue what I was going to do. I wasn't thinking about management. I felt a little burnt out. I just wasn't sure. I started taking Italian lessons, and I was like, I'm going to move to Italy and just eat, pray, my love way into like figuring out what I'm going to do next. And as I was taking Italian lessons, that's when Mario, at this point we had just become friends, and he approached me and he said, I really want to give it a shot. I want to record music. I want to do all that. Will you help me with that project? I was like, yeah, that sounds really cool. I'd love to project manage you putting together an album. So then we did a Kickstarter, which I think probably a lot of people in this room helped with. Thank you so much. Because literally, the answer is that Kickstarter and that process and meeting a lot of you and you all was what started my career doing this and what made things possible for me and Mario. Because that Kickstarter was, I scrapped Italy. And once I realized that, I was like, wow, there's something here. There's a want and a need for Mario's voice in the world. I already knew and loved it, but I didn't realize how many other people did. And so from that moment when,
I know, shit. Shoot, sorry. My second and last year at PentaCon. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
No. But anyway, I guess that's the answer. Is like that was a big thing for me. Was and once we started then working on the project and me working with Mario, I didn't even realize that I was doing management. I just was like, oh, I'm helping my friend do this project and this is fun and cool. And then as the things kept happening and opportunities and I'm doing this and this, it's like, okay, there it is. And so I will just end by saying something that I've told interns that I've had in the past and what I tell anyone really, and my nieces and nephews, like my only kind of advice I feel like I've learned in my life so far is that I feel like a lot of life, it's good to focus on goals and have, you know, these dreams, but I think a lot of life is also figuring out what doesn't work in your life and carving that away. So I kind of look at my pursuit of a career and my life in general as like a big stone carving, and as I'm going through and trying things in my life or meeting people, I'm carving things out and carving it away, and I feel like I'm left with the art and the thing that I want to be doing. So I feel like I've been left with management because I've carved away, I've tried different careers and different things, and I took away the things I didn't like, and I've kind of been left with the art.
I should have gone first. Wow, that's very sweet, thank you. And I've always sang. My mom sings and my dad plays trombone, and not for their profession, but they both do that. So music was always at the forefront of our family. And so I knew that I always wanted to sing. And so every extracurricular activity I did was somehow related to performing. And then working with people, like I got into student government and loved that, and it was I would, like through middle school and high school was like the social chairman and would like plan events. I just love that. But singing was always there, and I remember being in like 7th grade and I saw like a I don't even know if it's like a pre-college thing. I'm like, who's thinking about college in 7th grade? But I saw this thing about Berklee College of Music in Boston. And I was like, what, you can study pop music as a degree? And I was like, I don't even know what that means, but I want that. And so throughout high school, I worked to get to Berklee. To save money, I ended up going to Fullerton College in Southern California for a couple years before transferring to Berklee to save some money. But I always knew that I wanted to do music. But all that to say, I didn't know if I could make it. And that's, I mean, it's just you know, I'm human, and we all have those moments of crippling self-doubt, and it's just like, okay, I am not the cookie cutter. You know, I'm not going to look like Justin Bieber. I'm not going to look like all these other people, but I think that I do have a voice that should be heard. And it took me a while to find that, what I call light. And I talk about this at Acapella Academy when I work there, is that everyone has to find their light, whatever that may be, and how to spread that. And so when I moved to LA, I was working at Coffee Bean and Fossil, so retail and a coffee shop, and it was like, and then at night I would try to go, and this was before I met Ryan, I would try to sing as much as I could, and they have like things called jams and like just like hangs where all the touring musicians in the world all sit in, and it's like Natasha Bedingfield's drummer and Christina Aguilera's bassist and all these people that are living in the music industry, and I would just go and sit and listen and hope one day that they would be able to hear me. And so finally, as you know, I could probably talk to a doorknob. And so finally I was like, go talk to them. Like and I would go by myself if roommates couldn't go, I would just go. And so one night I talked to a guy, then he had me sing the next week, and then I got singing there. And so everything, still in this moment, I wasn't thinking of my own solo career. I would do like acoustic shows and stuff, but they would all be covers. And just to do shows because I love to sing. And still not like thinking I want to pursue my own solo career. And people are like, why don't you write? Like, why don't you write a song? Like, I mean, like I have written songs, but I haven't shown anybody because I think they're gonna be dumb, or I think they're gonna be whatever. Like, but you know, like you hide them. Hello? Hello? I'm sorry, that was not meant to be so aggressive. But If I say hello to you, like hello, that means like, yes, I totally agree. Just so you know. So you're like, well, it's because I love pentatonics. Hello! I agree. But there were so many things where I was doing, I mean, starting out, if you're starting as a musician, you will do so many free gigs. And it still wasn't like clicking. And you're probably going to think that this is a lie, but I swear on everything that I love, the moment that I thought a solo career was attainable was the night in Boston opening for PTX. And it was like, still to this day I credit that as I walked off stage and like just wiping away tears, and Esther's like all the crew guys were crying, and I was like, what? Like it was like this, and I walked back and they poured their hearts out to me, and it was really cool. And what they didn't catch on camera, thank God, is because I went back to the dressing room that they gave me and lost it. And like, and I just, that was the first time where I felt like, oh my gosh, like these people that don't have to do a thing for you. They gave you a job, and it was a fantastic, hard-working job that I will never ever forget, and I will never be able to thank them enough. But that night was like, they've done something much more for me than they ever would have imagined. So after I got back from that tour, and even before the tour, Scott's like, I don't think you want to be a tour assistant for the rest of your life, but would you like to work with us? And I was like, oh, does a dog have lips? Or hello. Just anonymous. But after that the rest of 2015 was kind of like this like space of starting to believe in myself and starting to be like, okay, like this is the time. And then an event happened in my life, and then I did a show. It was like I fell in love with one of my best friends. Then I had a show, and a songwriter named JP Sachs approached me and said, I love coming to your shows, but this is such a long-winded answer, I'm sorry. I love coming to your shows, but I'm having trouble connecting to you. And I was like, okay, that's a real ass statement, thank you. And he was like, I want to hear your story. And he's like, he said very nice things. He said, you tell other people's stories so beautifully, but I want to know you. I want to know what has ripped your heart out and stomped on it. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to tell people, you know? Like it's a very, being an artist is a very vulnerable thing, but it is just the most rewarding, because the next week he said, I'm going to clear out a day and you need to come to the studio and we're going to write a song. And that's the birth of Tell Me Now. So he was like, what's on your mind? And he started playing those 4 chords. And I was like, just like emotionally puked all over him. And was like, this is what's happening. And then we wrote Tell Me Now in the day, recorded the demo that night. And then I went to Ryan and I said, I have this song and I think I want to write an EP. And so all of Heart of Gold was stemmed from Tell Me Now, and just that belief of like, you can do this. And of course, since then, it still varies. It's still like, oh my gosh, like there's still huge moments of like, can I really do this? But at the end of the day, there's nothing that makes me happier than connecting with someone through music. And it is such a rewarding, beautiful feeling, and I don't know how to emote better than through song. And so that, even in my darkest times, that's how I find my light.
Sorry guys, so we already have, I think, 2 more people that were going to ask questions, and I think those will be our final 2 questions. Yay.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick.
Uh-oh.
Have you watched my reaction video today?
Today? I have not.
Today.
This, I feel like we're in a musical. Today.
He's an amazing artist.
I will check it out after this.
I just want to say hi, guys. I haven't met you guys in person yet, and thank you so much for all of your support. Not just of Mario, but of many other things that I'm working on, so I can't wait.
My video today is Mario.
Never heard of him.
Mario Jose?
Stealing that song. They said up here. They said Mario Jose. For those in the back.
I'm here only.
Try the veal.
I have a question and a statement. The statement is, if you would ever try a career in stand-up comedy.
Yes!
So that's I can't stand that long.
I could barely grab the mic fast enough.
But my question is, are you able to share at this time what you're going to be doing for the rest of 2018 or possibly 2019?
Yeah!
Hold that thought.
Did you ask?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, first I was going to say, personality-wise, that's actually something that we've been working on too, is just like also moving him into trying to do like some hosting things and some television stuff, and yeah, so that's right on the nose, yeah, right on. I'm going to answer this one for you just because we haven't discussed what we were going to talk about yet.
I want to.
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting to get confirmation to announce something, but he will be out and about in the world. I'll say that. And musically, just so you'll kind of know and hopefully be supporting us along the way, like this new single which comes out. Does anybody know? August 2nd. Which we are so excited about, and I think you guys are going to be really excited. It's Mario 2.0, and it's very fun, and it's all the energy and love and happiness that you feel from him. You're going to feel in the song. It's awesome. So we're really excited that that's coming out to sort of usher in this next wave of music, and then our plan is to just be doing a consistent stream of singles throughout the next year. But yeah. Yeah, we'd rather than hold it all up and make an album at this time, we're gonna just start trying to give you stuff as much as possible. As soon as I get the go-ahead, hopefully sometime today, well, maybe we can make an announcement later about specifically what it is, but I'm sure you're all smart people. You have an idea, but he'll be out and about, like I said, around the world.
Okay.
Sorry. It is. How about this? It is happening. It is confirmed. I just don't know if we're allowed to announce it yet. That's all.
Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for the panel. Everybody please give it up for Mario and I.
World peace.
And a couple of other quick notes. So again, if you want to hear the amazing Mario sing tomorrow at the beginning of the Christmas party, you get a little mini concert. And then also, if you want to meet Mario, he'll be in the vendor hall right after this. So head over to the vendor hall, check out his merch, talk to him, have fun, and thank you.